everyone, welcome to Keeping Up with Katie. I'm your host, Katie Ellison, Director of Operations at GableStage. For our first episode, come with me as I set the room up for our first day of Fat Ham rehearsals. Come on. Hi everyone, welcome to our rehearsal room. This room that we're working in is called Bowman. It's a room at the Biltmore Hotel that we frequently use to do our rehearsals. I'm going to give you a little tour. So behind us, we have a large table set out for the actors, so whether they come in, they have somewhere to set their stuff, they can eat here, we can do readings, meetings, anything that we need. They have a workspace here. We always make sure people have tissues because the rooms are cold and people get runny noses. There's hand sanitizer, safety is very important. We also have some coffee and water and things set up for them, a fridge, a little microwave that they can use while they're in the room. We want people to feel as homey as possible. And then over here is kind of our rehearsal area. We laid this floor out yesterday. It took us about 3 hours with 4 people, and each one of these squares gets malleted together and then flipped over and like stomped on kind of like this to get it into place. We lay this floor down for every single rehearsal, and right now what's happening is we're trying to tape out the floor so that the actors know where they're going, what they're supposed to be standing on, because this will help us before we get into the theater. We use a rehearsal space because if you come into the theater right now, it looks very different from when you come in for a show. It looks like a full construction zone. They're building, they're adding the sets together that just came from Island City Stage a couple days ago. So we have to rehearse in here and because the theater's not quite ready for us yet. So why do we tape a floor? What's the reason? How do we do it? Let me tell you. So we have a ground plan that looks like this that our wonderful technical director helps me out and gives me all of the measurements for the entire set so that I can go down with my big 100-foot tape measure and a regular tape measure and do the dimensions to make points out and to actually tape the floor onto this floor. So while the actors are in rehearsal, they know where the steps are, where to stand, can't stand there, there's a wall there, how do they get from point A to point B? There's even like stairs that we're gonna map out so that they can do that. So all of these measurements help me be able to put the tape on the floor so that the actors can properly rehearse before we move into the theater. It also comes in really pretty colors. Of course, we're using the pink because that's my favorite color. Another thing that we bring into the rehearsal room is all of the props. These are some of the props behind us that we're busy unloading out of the bins to put on the table so that we can use for rehearsals, because the motto is that if you don't have in rehearsal, you probably won't use it in the show. It's really important for actors to have the prop in their hand and to learn how to endow the prop and to use it properly. They don't so that during the show, everything works out. So we bring all of our items that we need. We have furniture, we have some magic tricks that are happening, lots of chairs. Everything needs to come into the room so that we can have the best rehearsal possible. Thanks for joining us for our first episode of Keeping Up with Katie. Till next time.